Okay, that's where we are starting. So, good morning, boys, and I think Pallavi has come, or is she yet to join? Okay, so yesterday we were talking about the chapter number 5, morphology of flowering plants, and as part of that, we have gone through the morphology of flower. We described all the external characters of a flower plus bunch of flowers, how the flowers are arranged on the stem axis. We call it as inflorescence. So for your batch, I am sure all of you must have seen the PDF that I have sent to you in our WhatsApp group. The syllabus of this chapter, it is only flower. After flower, inflorescence. After that, it is families. In that families, I said entire family, if we keep on writing morphological characters, it will run to some say 6 pages at least. Instead of writing that much lengthy description, we can describe the entire family in the form of two versions. One is called the floral formula. I think all of you, yesterday I described the significance of each symbol. Okay, this is, if we are able to write like this is called floral formula. Okay, so any family of the plants can be described in this way, in a short brief form. The moment you look at this floral formula, you understand the main characters of the family, and based on this floral formula we can draw this diagram. This way of drawing diagram is called floral diagram. Look at that. So if you are able to first write correctly floral formula, based on that floral formula you can draw floral diagram. If these two are correct, that means you know that all the important characteristics of that family. So in for your batch, there are only one family. In fact, the choices, one is family Solanaceae, as you are seeing, and in case Solanaceae we are not able to have it, then we go for Liliaceae, either Solanaceae or Liliaceae. Anyway, for your benefit, I am going to describe both the families, family Solanaceae as well as family Liliaceae. In today's class, we will focus on family Solanaceae. And when you come back to school, okay, physically, you will be doing practicals also with regards to this Solanaceae. Right? Basically, you must remember this Solanaceae family as brinjal family or potato family, as you are seeing. See, all the members of this family, they are all very familiar to you. See, brinjal, tomato, potato, ashwagandha, belladonna, petunia, tobacco, see, and chilies, all are familiar. Every day you are using all this. Am I right? Hence, Solanaceae family should be remembered as potato family or bajnekai family, brinjal family, tomato family. Okay, and since most of you are children of farmers, Raitar Makkalu, I am sure in your own field you must be growing all these. So have a flower today, have the plant, you need not pluck it out, just whatever characteristics I am telling, verify with that. I am sure most of you are having potato crop in your field, you must be growing tomato, you must be growing brinjal, very common in North Karnataka, and of course chilies, and in your home you must be having petunia plant. So just see whatever characteristics that we are going to describe today, are they there? Hold the plant in your hand and check whatever we are studying today, is it there or not. So with that background, we will go to the description. Okay. Now, as most of you have seen, either brinjal or potato or tomato, you know that. You just keep the plant in your hand as he is saying, see, the farmer is plucking the potato plant there. And as I said, you must remember this family as either potato family or tomato family or at least brinjal family, so that it will be easy for you to remember. So what is the first point? It's a large potato family. It is widely distributed to tropics, subtropics and even temperate zones. Means throughout the world these are grown. And what are the vegetative characteristics? Small plants there. Mostly the plants belonging to family Solanaceae are herbs, shrubs and small trees. Even if trees are there, small trees. Okay. What about stem? What is the characteristic of stem? Herbaceous, means it is very, very thick, thin and weak. Okay. Rarely woody, means a thick wood will be there, but it is rare. And aerial, means towards the sky, the stem is going towards the sky. Erect, straight. Cylindrical, it is in the shape of a cylinder. And branched, stem has got branches. Solid or hollow, means it is singly present. Hairy or glabrous, if you observe closely the stem, on top of the stem there will be white hair like structures, so that's hairy. And then underground stem in potato, you know, potato is the modified stem. What we are eating, potato, is that vegetable is a modified stem. So in case of potato, the stem is modified into vegetable. Now what about leaves? Alternate, means one left side, one right side, one left side, one right side. That is alternate. Simple. Rarely pinnately compound. Here you must know that leaves are two types: pinnately compound, palmately compound. And basically you should say that simple leaf and compound leaf. A simple leaf, solitary leaf, the one that you will be observing in hibiscus. Okay. And in the compound leaf there will be leaflets like in neem. Okay. Along with the leaflets will be there. Okay. And exstipulate, there won't be any fronds, stipules will not be there, so we say exstipulate. Venation, reticulate venation. Now again, venation is the arrangement of veins, you know veins, that lines on the leaf. So that veins will be like reticulate, means one mid vein will be there and side veins will be there. Whereas sometimes you must have seen on the leaf, today you observe after the class, on the leaf there will be network of veins, then we say palmate, palmately venation. So depending upon the description, what you see, you need to write. The stem you have to write, leaf you have to write, root you have to write. Then comes the floral characters. So when you describe root, stem, leaf, it is vegetative characters. Then when you come to floral characters, you are going to describe flower and the inflorescence. Okay, two things that you need to describe under floral characters. So first one is flower. We will take the flower. Flower is bisexual and actinomorphic. So you are using only technical words in this. You are not going to describe that. Instead of writing bisexual, you are not going to write that. Flowers will have both androecium and gynoecium. Androecium consists of this, gynoecium consists, no. You are using simply technical word, bisexual. Actinomorphic. What do you mean by actinomorphic? Yesterday's class I said two, actinomorphic, zygomorphic. Do you remember? Recollect from your memory. Actinomorphic. What do you mean by that? Yes. Actinomorphic, zygomorphic. What do you mean by actinomorphic?
Radial symmetry.
Radial symmetry. Flower will have radial symmetry, that is actinomorphic. And also we said that when you are writing actinomorphic, the symbol for that is 0 and in the inside the 0 plus, as you are seeing in floral formula, right? Can you see that?
Yes.
In floral formula, first symbol and next one bisexual, both the sexes are present. There the symbol that we are doing is 0, arrow mark and down plus. Arrow mark indicates androecium, plus indicates gynoecium. If both the sex organs are present, then we say bisexual. Next, calyx. What is calyx?
Calyx is a group of sepals.
Group of sepals, very good. So calyx is group of sepals. How many are there? 5 are there. So we have put for calyx the symbol is K. For calyx the symbol is K. Now here I want to give a slight caution. Spelling is CALYX, but symbol is K. So don't get confused. Spelling is CALYX, calyx, but then the symbol that we are using is K. K for calyx. And how many are there? 5. Are they united? Yes, all of them are joined together. So we are putting within bracket. Yesterday I said if we put 2 brackets, that means they are adhered or united. So symbol we are putting is K. How many? 5 sepals and all are united. One is attached with other. So we are putting within bracket 5. K5. Next comes corolla. Corolla spelling COROLLA. Here we are picking up the first letter of the word corolla, C. Okay. So in that how many? What is corolla? Corolla is but petals. Group of petals is corolla. How many are there? 5. Are they united? Yes, they are united. And see, under eastivation we studied all this. Okay. Remember yesterday's class, eastivation. So within that 5 they are joined together. Then we say within bracket we are putting 5. So we say C5 and we put bracket for that 5 number. So when we describe under corolla, petals 5, they are united. Valvate eastivation. Here that is giving clue whether you have to put bracket or not. Try to recollect from your memory what is valvate eastivation. Yeah, valvate eastivation.
They are touching.
Each petal will be touching with each other. Slightly they are overlapped. That is valvate eastivation. Then comes androecium. Androecium is male reproductive part. And in that androecium we said stamen. And the stamen will have stalk below that. And the stamen is a bulged portion. On maturity, tissue present in the stamen will generate pollen grains, isn't it? And we said stamen is a gonad, pollen grain is a gamete. So male gonad is stamen, male gamete is pollen grain. And how many are there? Stamens? 5 are there. And the spelling, we are starting with the spelling ANDROECIUM, androecium. So we are using the word A, capital A. And in that, how many are there? 5 are there. 5 stamens will be there. We can count. You take the flower and count. It will be 5. Are they united? No. They are free. So we are not putting bracket. Under A, we are simply writing 5. Okay. Next, what type of it is? Epipetalous. Where this androecium is present? On top of the petals. So we are putting a arrow mark, A connecting with C. That is why it is epipetalous. Where are these androecium present? On top of the petals. So we say epipetalous. And next we go to gynoecium. Spelling Gynoecium. So it starts with G. So we are picking that letter for gynoecium. So we are writing capital G, right? And how many bicarpellary? Two carpels are there. Remember yesterday I was using the technical words. For male flower, I was using staminate flower. For female flower, I was using pistillate flower. Pistil has got other name carpel. So here in this family of Solanaceae, how many carpels are there? Two carpels are there. So we say bicarpellary. And are they united? Syncarpous. Syncarpous means they are united. So we are putting under G 2 because bi. And then we are putting within bracket means they are fused. And we are underlining under G. Why? Yesterday I said superior ovary. Okay? Superior ovary. And when you cut this, when you come to biology lab, we will take the section of this ovary. And there, as I said, when you take the section of the ovary, you will see two rooms. Each room is called a locule. So two rooms, bilocular. That's why we are putting 2. And placenta is swollen with many ovules. Ovules will be many, as you are seeing when you are just seeing the TS and VS. Both the sections we will take. Transverse section of the ovary and vertical section of the ovary. With the help of a blade, I will train you how to take that section when you come for practicals. Okay. And fruits, it is berry or capsule. Again, under fruits yesterday we said what is a berry, what is a capsule. Okay. And seeds, many seeds, as you are seeing in tomato, particularly brinjal, you have seen many. And endospermous. What do you mean by endospermous? Any idea?
Inside, sir.
Inside? Yes, Raghavendra, inside what?
Inside seeds.
Inside seeds, what will be there? Inside a seed, what will be there? See the clue. The clue is that is outside. Cotyledon is outside. Cotyledon is seed cover. Based on seed covers, how many seed covers are there? We have classified plants into monocots and dicots. I told you. Monocotyledonous plants, dicotyledonous plants. Here the clue is endosperm. Remember what is endosperm? Try to recollect. Yesterday's class we said double fertilization. In the double fertilization, I said nucleus of the pollen grain, first nucleus. In fact, in pollen grain there will be 2 nuclei, nucleus 1, nucleus 2. Since it is pollen grain, I prefer to call it as male nucleus 1, male nucleus 2. Okay. Now, yesterday I said male nucleus 1 fuses with nucleus of the ovum, correct? Resulting in formation of zygote. This is fertilization 1. So, fertilization 1 is fusion of nucleus of male nucleus 1 with the nucleus of the ovum, resulting in zygote. This is fertilization 1. Okay, this is also called syngamy. Second one is male nucleus 2 fuses with 2 nuclei, polar nuclei. So 2 nuclei plus 1 male nucleus 2, 3 nuclei are fusing. We say triple fusion. This triple fusion is called fertilization 2. And triple fusion results in the formation of PEN, primary endosperm nucleus. And that primary endosperm nucleus becomes on maturity endosperm. And endosperm, yesterday if you try to recollect from your memory, I told you endosperm is the nutritive tissue for the developing embryo. I hope I have made it clear, Raghavendra.
Yes, sir.
Endosperm is nutritive tissue present inside the seed that helps the growing embryo. Who will give food, Raghavendra, for the embryo? It is the endosperm. Okay. So, how do you write? We have described so much, and to make it in a simple way, we use floral formula. Like yesterday I said, in your chemistry chapters, organic chemistry, you are using so many formulae, no? HCl, H2SO4, KMNO4, like that. Here also in biology, whenever we want to describe a family in short, in brief, we use this floral formula. So in floral formula, we write briefly using the symbols. So Solanaceae family can be described like this. What is that? 0 with plus. That means all of you know that it is actinomorphic flower. 0 with arrow mark and down plus, bisexual. And K means calyx. And how many sepals are there? 5 are there. So we put K below that 5. Are they united? Yes, they are united. Put the bracket. Suppose you pick up another flower in your home today. Okay? Whichever flower you like it. You just compare with this floral formula. Is it actinomorphic or zygomorphic? Is it staminate flower, pistillate flower, or bisexual flower? What about K? How many sepals are there? Are they united? If they are united, put within bracket. If they are not united, simply put number 5, 6, 7, 4, 3, like that. Then comes C. C for corolla. Corolla is group of petals, very colorful petals. How many are there in this Solanaceae? Like all of you have seen a brinjal flower in your own home, tomato. So you just count today. If you got in your field, 5 will be there. They are united. And then A for androecium, the male reproductive part. How many are there? 5. And where are they present? They are attached to petals. So we are putting arrow mark A versus C. We are putting a bridge connecting A with C. So that bridge indicates that androecium is attached to corolla. And of course gynoecium, superior ovary. So we are writing capital G, underscoring it. And how many locules are there when you cut open either transverse section or vertical section? 2 locules will be there. And are they united? Yes, they are united through placenta. So we are putting 2 within bracket. Okay. Now same thing we will see here. See the same floral formula can be represented in the form of a diagram like this. Look at that. So basically, when you come to lab practicals, you pick up a flower. I think I will be giving you a brinjal flower, and cut that with the help of a blade. LS means longitudinal section. Then you can see all the parts when you cut it. You can see the carpel, you can see the stamen, and also you can cut the again ovary part. Then you will see how many locules are there, how ova are arranged. Okay, all this. Now after having studied all this, you need to draw this in the form of a diagram, and that diagram is called floral diagram. How do you draw? First, see on top of the diagram, I am just expanding it. Yes, I will just bring it to side. Okay. Yes. Now you can see there is a plus mark. On top of it, there is a plus mark. What does that indicate?
Actinomorphic.
Actinomorphic flower. Okay. Next, green colors you are seeing. What are those? Green colored ones? Sepals. Are they joined? Yes. See, we are joining one sepal with another. And what is the technical word we use, Naveen? If sepals are joined together?
Calyx.
No, calyx, okay. if sepals are joined, what do you call that? Remember yesterday I said gamosepalous. Okay, sepals are fused, right? Next we go to the second whorl. Whorl means round, second round. Now second round you can see group of petals. In fact, in diagram he has shown you white one. You can show colorful one also. If you got color pencils, you can draw color ones also. So second round is the group of petals. Are they joined?
Yes, sir.
Yes, they are joined. And how many they are? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So only we are writing C, capital C in that 5 and we are putting within bracket. Then comes androecium. How many androecium? Stamens?
5.
5. Where are they? They
Attached.
are attached to the petals. That's why we have put bridge. I hope you are convinced now. Why we are putting that A and C connecting the bridge. And now we go to the female part, gynoecium. See, when you cut open, particularly TS, transverse section of ovary, if you take, you will see like this. How many rooms are there? That red color one, 2 rooms are there. They are called locules. And inside the locule, many ova are there. Number of ova will be there. So, if you draw a diagram like this way of representing the any family, plant family is floral diagram. So, what you have to do today after my class? You have to draw all the diagrams, particularly floral diagram. Practice once and convince yourself whether you have understood or not. No mugging, no by heart. Apply logic. And after drawing floral diagram and floral formula, take a photo of this and put it in our WhatsApp group. I understand that you have worked. Understood? I am expecting this from all the biology children. No laziness is allowed. Please draw the diagram, write the floral formula, first write the heading Solanaceae, and now what is the use of this family for us? Naturally somebody like Naveen will ask, sir, why should we study all this in biology? Don't we have better things to study? Okay, Naveen? For that, answer is this, economic importance. What is the use of Solanaceae family for us? Okay. Now let us see the importance. Most of the members, they are useful as food for us. They are giving food for us. See, always we say, we eat to live. We are eating, getting energy, so we are able to live. Of course, for some Naveen, we live to eat. Batko yakaya, then like, why should we live? For eating. Which one is correct, Naveen?
Eat to live.
We eat to live. We are eating so that we are alive. See, we talk in respiration chapter, we will go and we will talk about the ATP molecules, adenosine triphosphate molecules. There we talk of energy. From where we are getting this energy? The main source of energy for us is food. See, we are thankful to family Solanaceae. They are giving tomatoes for us, brinjals, potato, ornamental plants, medical plants, so many. And of course, spices, chilies, green chilies, mirchi. And medicinal one, there is a plant called belladonna. And this belladonna plant's stem particularly is very, very useful. They are using it in homeopathy. In homeopathy medicine, the very name is called belladonna. So it controls fever, cold, cough, all that. And of course, the main property of this belladonna is controlling the BP also. Okay, blood pressure. So belladonna is used as a medicinal plant. Ashwagandha, of course, all of you know. Again, it is used in Ayurvedic medicines. Ashwagandha. It's very, very useful for many things. Mainly, it gives energy. Those who are weak, particularly for senior citizens, the Ayurveda doctors prescribe ashwagandha so that they get energy. Then fumigatory, that is tobacco. Of course, this is very dangerous, this tobacco. As you know, many times we, at least in a yearly once, we organize World Tobacco Day, wherein we advise people not to smoke, not to inhale, and not to chew tobacco, because all of us know, being science students, tobacco causes cancer, and it starts off with mouth cancer, then all other cancers to follow. So let us avoid this tobacco. And then ornamental plants, I am sure all of you must be having in your home. Petunia, this pink one, check whether you have got or not. Petunia flowers, see, very colorful ones, right? So when this family is helping us in so many ways, don't you think that we should be thankful to this and we should study about this? So that is the importance of Solanaceae. I think this is a time, any time the, it will be off. So I would like to tell you that we will be studying, though one family you have to study, we will study both. Liliaceae also we will study, right? Tomorrow's class we will focus on family Liliaceae. Meanwhile, what I wanted you to do is keep your notes. First write all the technical words. For your batch, even though root is deleted, stem is deleted, leaf is deleted, then what do you say, a fruit is deleted, seed is deleted, but yet out of interest you just study those, so that when you write the description of the family, you will not have doubts. Just go through it, no need to mug it up, just try to know it. And focus, your focus should be on families, because this is a major question both in practicals as well as theory. And maybe I will upload one video with regards to families. Once I complete Solanaceae, today we have completed, tomorrow Liliaceae, next week I will upload one practical video, okay? And when you come physically to the school, of course, you will be doing for yourself. I will be guiding you how to do it, okay? With this, I am closing this today's session. Take care. Bye.